been to a ton of tournaments lately. Has been on a hiatus, but I've seen the way he's been playing this weekend. Looking pretty good.
Okay. Well, we'll save the rest of the lineup because, as I mentioned, the gang's going at it. We got ABY on the Pyra and Mythra, and of course, Justyce on the Palu.
Not the Min Justyce from the west side of the continent, but yeah, no, the Palutena player spelled with a Y. Yeah, I am very excited to see. I mean, I saw so much of these two characters over the course of Squad Strike. Commentating 2 blocks of that, 2.5 really,
God bless.
Given time. But I mean, saw a lot of these two characters show up. Very excited to see them go up against each other in a full stock game, because this is definitely, I think, a relevant matchup that you need to know, right? You need to watch good players play this matchup to kind of understand where Ultimate's at.
Right. There's definitely 2 characters I think of when I hear fundamentals. So it's excited. So I'm excited personally to see how the matchup plays and how the players kind of use the tools that they have here at the disposal. I like the crazy idea to go for back-to-back special moves. Kind of working out though. You know, Pyra's a little too slow to really interact with him.
I really like that ABY was careful in that situation as we do fly in and get that first stock out of the down air. That at the beginning of a set, you don't have to go and immediately strike for doing those 2 moves. Okay, I'm probably going to get more value out of this as a player. If you do this explosive flame, I dash up, see what you do, and I dash back. And you did an auto reticle, okay, I dash up and then I dash back, because I want to see what you're going to do if I'm running up to you in that situation. And we'll see if ABY is going to be able to take that to a further lead, as we do see Justyce take that first stock, but this is the Aegis in the lead.
Right, it's going to be tough, too. I think ABY, like you said, really doing a lot of homework here, maybe for later in the game and definitely later in the set. Some pretty interesting adaptations already coming out, but we got some classic combos coming in from Justyce. The up air is so difficult for Pyra, but finally finding an aerial and some footing.
And you don't want to just say, oh, switch to Mythra, get the extra aerial mobility and access to foresight, because if you get red on that, then the situation can worsen immediately. And right now, I mean, yeah, immediately. I mean, ABY got off to a really hot start on this stock, but Justyce turning things around so quickly with just a couple of juggles. And you forget that even though these aren't necessarily all true combos from Palutena, that advantage state is just so oppressive.
Right. Especially if they cannot, if they don't have a really easy tool to use to get back down to the ground, it can be tough. Those up airs rack on the damage. But those aerials from Pyra also something to worry about. I love the explosive flame.
You know, the down smash to go under it actually did save ABY, because I think if you ate the earlier hits of that move, that would have been enough percent to actually send it to the blast zone. But instead, ABY brilliantly somehow actually able to take that stock after low profiling with a down smash.
Yeah, really good stuff. Good anti-air or air-to-air with the up air. But it's going to be a quick response from Justyce at the ledge. Now back to 1 stock apiece, 0%. Looking really good, definitely heating up.
Ooh, I am starting to think this is going to be a great set to watch, because it's already been so back and forth. And again, we've seen the blueprints from both of these players that they want to be able to make adaptations later in the set, pick up on some of the habits. I mean, ABY has already picked up on a couple of pretty nasty jump habits from Justyce, especially defensively, has already eaten a stock or 2 off of that, but may have to eat a stock of his own if Justyce is able to continue this trend right now. Already bucked him up to 72%, and we know with Palutena, right, you get put in that disadvantage, you can stay there for a minute.
Right. We're definitely seeing a little bit of a role reversal, because ABY is finding all the right defensive options so far. I think all of that homework is finally coming to fruition, but really good air dodge, holding on just a little bit longer.
You know, normally that air dodge could get scouted out, even give them enough time to set up for a back air or an up air, but in that situation, ABY really wanted to end that game right then and there. Did give Justyce the opportunity to come back. Love the air dodge to get out of the situation, but how do you escape the ledge trap?
It's going to be tough getting around that explosive flame somehow. The back airs are coming out. They've been so great, but the dash attack falls short, and what a pickup.
Wow. Yeah, you don't always expect the Pyra to just burst out there, because you think of her as the slower ledge trapping character, but heading right out there is ABY taking that first game. I love the way that both of these players are playing.
I'm already having a great time. It's game 1, now going into game 2. But like you said, those defensive options were very important, because all of the stocks that ABY got were from that adaptation. The jump in disadvantage, or the defensive jump in general, was that second stock where they both ended up jumping, and ABY got to pick up with that big up air. Fantastic. And then the ledge pressure, Justyce was pretty good about mixing it up. We saw really interesting teleports directly to center stage, kind of past ABY. But that panic option at the end got punished. fantastically from ABY because of all of that information. And what am I looking at?
Switching to the main, I don't know if you noticed when the things were cycling up in the top bar, but ABY's Twitch is ABY Zelda. So I would imagine that this is the character that he plays more often than not. And honestly, kind of ringing a bell. I think I do remember seeing an ABY playing Zelda before, and right off the bat, right, getting a lot of bang for the buck. I don't even blame them for saying, hey, if I'm playing Aegis in this game 1, I have a ton of room to be able to just test my opponent, right? I can back up, I can go forward, I don't have to worry about how they're interacting with these particular projectile setups and everything. And again, that's after taking the game 1. It could also just be a stage thing, but I mean, I keep talking and ABY keeps on smacking up the competition. Justyce already down a stock.
ABY in the player cam too, really just, you know, giving a nice head shake after that huge hitbox of the forward air. Justyce though, trying to respond back, but I like that offensive up B past the ledge. And it's pretty interesting. If you're ABY here, you get to keep a lot. You get to keep a lot of the info from the last game, whereas Justyce has to improvise. But it looks like it's going to be no problem for Justyce.
Right back into it with an amazing read on the defensive options. Forward tilt is almost enough to do it. That thing is strong, dude. Honestly, Zelda's actually pretty good.
Yeah, she's got some good moves.
I would not dare say that she is high tier just yet, but I think that she has firmly escaped the doldrums of being a low-tier character. I mean, she has a lot of tools, and look at the way that ABY is showing you how they work. The lightning kick, catch the air dodge because you thought I was coming at you with something else. In comes the Din fire.
Unbelievable. The first thing on the top of my head was the lightning kick out of shield as you were talking about how good Zelda is in certain aspects, and then it happened, and what a fantastic follow-up too from ABY, and the offense does not stop, making it back to the ledge, but that dash attack from Palu has been doing wonders for Justyce.
And this is the one place where Zelda can really make you hurt, is when you're at a deficit or any time where you feel like you need to approach Zelda. Her big struggle is how does she pressure you? Like, yeah, she can throw out a lot of projectiles, maybe you'll react in a certain way, but you don't necessarily need to put yourself in danger to get away from them.
Right.
But when you have to approach Zelda, you are going firmly into one of the scariest threat zones in the whole game. You will go down to last stock as Justyce once again sealing a stock with the up air.
Oh, I like the idea there, but actually getting hit before the Phantom is able to mobilize. A lot of percent here, but we saw Palu in that advantage state just last game. We can definitely see a comeback right now from Justyce. Already looking for a couple of big hits, those dash attacks, like I mentioned. So fantastic.
Good call out on that stutter stepped approach right there where ABY took a moment before trying to throw out a move. That nair coming in excellently for Justyce, who does a great job of avoiding that Phantom as well. I love just the mindfulness. These two players are playing a two-player game.
For sure.
And that's what I like to see, because sometimes you watch two people playing training mode at each other. No, these two want to play cerebral thinking man Smash Brothers, and that's exactly what we're getting right now. That explosive flame showing that off exactly. ABY has to burn that double jump to get away from the up air. Both players really barely hanging on to this game too.
They're both looking for the last hit right now. The forward tilt is coming in, but the explosive flame opens up the stage. Justyce making it back. Fantastic special moves, but they are both kind of on the back foot right now.
ABY has to be really careful of explosive flame anytime that he's trying to land. Burn that double jump super early. Could have been bad, but air dodge comes out at just the right moment. Doesn't want to commit to the grab either, because a spot dodge could have spelled game right there.
Unbelievable. I love the back airs here. Really good tool for that shield pressure, but the explosive flame coming back to bite Justyce. Still holding on.
So beautiful, recognizing every time that Phantom gets fully charged, Justyce wants to throw out that explosive flame to try to punish it, but got in. And now both players at 145. Grab will end the game, I think probably for either player. ABY not looking for it, wants that lightning kick, but one too many times is one too many indeed. It is a back air from Justyce to close out a tight game number 2, even up the set.
What a nail biter. Oh my goodness. ABY switching to the Zelda and looking so confident, but Justyce bringing it all of the way back. So many great adaptations, and I think we maybe saw like ABY trying to cash in that adaptation a little too early, right? Like you mentioned, the explosive flame to punish the Phantom. Usually pretty good to go and try and punish, but it was like just so very close to killing, and it didn't. And then Justyce made it all of the way back, and they just were scrambling. You could tell how nervous both players were in that last stock situation. And
I don't even blame ABY for that dash attack either,
No.
because anything other than perfect DI from Justyce would have gotten him killed, but he did know how to DI that dash attack on town at that percent. Just so happens that it was barely, just a squidge not enough. So the set will be back to even as we go to small battlefield for game number 3, and immediately Justyce taking advantage of this cramped stage and saying, you're not going to get your chance to set up your projectiles, you're not going to force me to come to you, I'm going to force you to try to land on Palutena.
Right, I was going to say, one of the things you mentioned earlier is you do not want to, try and fight Zelda at a deficit, but you don't want to fight, above Palutena at all. And we're seeing exactly why. It was 97% off of basically like 2 openings. And those nairs are still working good spot dodge, though.
I'm waiting for the moment where one of these 2 players starts really attacking on like the first tempo, where the moment that your move is able to shine through and counterattack. A lot of times they've been taking a beat to do stuff like this, space out and then try to fly back in. I feel like there's going to be a moment where one of these 2 players is going to start upping the pace and try to turn things around in this set. And right now, feels like it might need to be ABY, because Justyce has really adapted well to the Zelda.
I was going to say, I think Justyce is already trying to, put the pedal to the metal right now. A lot of really quick options and a lot of offensive ones as well. The forwarder taking it, trying to just to fade away a little bit. ABY holding right, maybe a little too hard. And Justyce with a lead now, and the dynamic of the match has shifted drastically.
This might just be a tier list difference too. Could also be that maybe Justyce is a bit more experienced against some Zeldas than Aegis is. You might think, how is that possible? We have like 3 Zeldas in Dallas and like no Aegis players, which is just, how does it happen? I don't know, don't ask me. But could be that case. Definitely Justyce looking really comfortable in this matchup so far. Hasn't been falling for any tricks. Has had some really good counterplay ready as well.
Yeah, really good use of the Phantoms at the ledge. It's kind of been keeping Justyce off of the stage. Not really finding the mark right there. I like that switch up, though. Changing up the timing of the Phantom. Trying to find the hit and even it up. Even the mix-up on the aerial timing, too. Trying to wait maybe just an extra beat.
Love the tomahawk right there. Tried to catch a double jump, maybe thinking that ABY would try to avoid getting set up on the ledge by jumping away, but just not falling for any of these tricks so far. Din's Fire not going to connect either. Hitting around the Phantom at that timing is pretty tough, but letting that get up attack rip, knowing that, again, ABY is maybe going to have to start stepping on the gas here. Finally does connect that dash attack, but still has quite a comeback to make yet.
Yeah, 97 is going to be a lot to try and bring back, but these hits stack up so fast. Already 57 after one small opening, but the nair working out for Justyce. Bit of a reversal now, but hold on.
I thought that was the moment where ABY would step on the gas and said, I did this up tilt almost every time I've waited. I thought that was the moment to get in there and try and take that stock, but that patience is not going to be rewarded as Justyce is able to turn things around, connect a wicked forward smash, and take that lead back firmly.
Right, and now you can see ABY going for a few too many aggressive options, hitting that shield from Justyce, and it's not looking too great. It leads to 48% and counting. I love Justyce putting more and more offensive options out. Finally, though, lightning kicks breaking it up. Big opportunity for ABY. Oh my goodness, that's so nervous.
I love using those forward airs to just bully out that space, right? You don't have enough room to throw out any projectiles. I know that. I know this matchup. But you're not going to try to contest these forward airs either, because you don't have the distance to do that as Zelda unless you have the projectiles set up. And now look at this. Justyce is kind of running circles around the Zelda at the moment, not getting caught in disadvantage too terribly badly.
Ooh.
Does have to fear, though. Any grab or a misplaced explosive flame does allow that Phantom to get in and get things started. And hold up a second. ABY is not done. Not even in a little bit.
I'm so flabbergasted. Almost 0% Phantom hit, leading to 50%. Basically even now. Can you land against ABY? Finally finds a way down, but look at that pressure. The nair into the up tilt. Forward air set up for the edge guard here. What is the play?
Looked like it was so firmly Justyce's game right from rip. Justyce was the one that started really getting aggressive with a lot of these juggles, taking a few more risks to just try and get more out of that advantage state. But now ABY has found an avenue back in, maybe even through some of that aggression, gets the Palu back off stage, and that is it right there. Gets aggressive, steps on the gas, gets right up underneath that Palutena, and sends her to the sky with that big ol' up air. ABY finding the perfect moment to turn that match around.
And that was such a good adaptation, too, because we mentioned a lot of that ledge pressure from ABY. I feel like the wind was taken out of the sails because Justyce was like just jumping up and teleporting down, kind of getting around a lot of that action. But finally, ABY's like, fine, you know what? I will meet you up there. I'll give you an up air for your troubles, and maybe we'll see you in the next game. Maybe.
Still though, going up 2-1 and using two different characters to take those games as well. I do believe that was still the Zelda selected, so unless I'm not mistaken, yes, ABY sticking it out with the main. Justyce needs to find a way to fire back as we go back to Town and City. There is no DSR, so you won on Town and City Game 2. You can go right back here Game 4 if it so pleases you.
All right, I like the idea. It definitely worked out pretty well in that game, if I'm not mistaken. But so far, these up tilts have been phenomenal for ABY. 50% and, geez, even more right now. Really scrapping, kind of staying close, throwing out these hitboxes. But, geez, Justyce, every time that other character is above Palu, I am getting worried.
I mean, just that's what she does, right? That juggle game, that advantage is so great. Love this tricky recovery back to stage. I think that these two players have done such a good job of not giving the opponent, like, even when they panic and choose a defensive option, they're not giving their opponent anything big to punish when they choose something. It's usually a jump away, something that lets them stay mobile. You haven't seen like a lot of spot dodges or anything, and it's because you can get blown up so quickly doing something like that.
Wow. Really nice mix-up on the offensive timing as well. Big forward tilt to set up for an edge guard here, but the explosive flames are working out this game for Justyce, really landing and interrupting a lot of the Phantoms so far. Oh. Okay.
Oh, yeah, down tilt is a very, very safe move, and especially when your shield is running low, you even run the risk of it getting poked. ABY a little too aggressive with that dash attack, though. Knows that DI to stay alive after that back air, but boy, things are getting a little dicey here on this first stock.
Yeah, already both of them at or near 130 here. Phantoms coming in, and ABY on the hunt. Fantastic bait. Not even throwing an option out, just going up and using that positioning.
There really was no recourse for Justyce there either, because at the timing that he was landing in front of that Phantom, if you choose to reflect that, your counter's not going to activate. It's going to be the reflect, and ABY is going to get a free solid hit on you. But if you don't do anything, then you just get hit by the Phantom, as we saw. But one too many times, you know, using some of those projectiles to stall that recovery out, that explosive flame has been a menace from Justyce so far.
Right. Turns out you actually cannot fight fire with fire.
Not allowed.
I mean, Palutena can. It's way better, but these up tilts.
You can fight fire with fire, but one fire is going to win, and one is going to lose.
Seems like it's always Palu's, unfortunately. Those explosive flames, like I said, they've been hitting the target for Justyce this game, and it's making all of the difference. But ABY on the offensive, oh, love to see it.
This is what we like to see. Dude, Zelda has some crazy burst damage when it comes to this game, and that feels so weird to say given her history as a character, always being a low tier, but she can make stocks go away in a real jiffy.
Yeah, ABY said, you are right, Kamona. I will show you. Down tilt into the lightning kick, fantastic.
Well, now looking for a spot dodge, which again, we haven't seen a whole lot of stuff like that, but saying, hey, maybe now that I'm up, you know, a little bit more, you're going to try to stay aggressive, stay up close to me, maybe you give me an opening like that. And again, it's great to see two players where they very clearly have a game plan that is based on adapting to what the opponent is giving.
Right. I like that air-to-air with the neutral air, keeping that pressure on. The missed grab, not getting punished, though. Tense spot. A little scramble here over at the ledge, and they are looking for a big hit. It's going to be the grab, though. Good stuff from Justyce, and nice back air. Ooh.
Commentators cliche. Not even a commentator.
It was nice. It was nice.
Look, sometimes the back air is nice, and there's nothing you can do about it. You got to point it out.
Ooh, okay. Whoa, they're trying again. Thankfully, ABY dodging that explosive flame, though, and a good parry on that back air, too. Really trying to keep that pressure up. Kind of taking a little bit of damage, though, and Justyce can even it up, maybe go for a run on that next stock. Kind of tense right now. Ooh, explosive flame again. Not necessarily has to hit every time, but just throwing it out there to cut off some of the routes is so very important, and we're seeing it right now. Rushing back to the ledge. Now Justyce finally hitting that back air, but still not taking the stock.
Yeah, needs something a little bit more right now, and hasn't really gone for anything risky like trying to do a rollback backdoor or anything, just trying to stick to the fundies. Back air's enough to take it, but Justyce needs to get back into this one, needs to take the stock, or else the set's over. You're going to have to go home thinking, man, I was so close to winning so many of these games, but ABY so far has been clutch. We'll see if Justyce can provide some of that clutch on his own as well.
I think we're seeing a pretty interesting dynamic here where ABY almost wants to force the issue because of that lead. You don't want anyone to make a comeback, and now all of a sudden, the lead is gone. All of that vertical pressure, so many fantastic aerials from Justyce, and now we're looking for a down throw back air, and it barely misses. Oh,
very, very, very tight window, and this is probably not even in a percentage window where you can actually hit that.
Right.
Nonetheless, though, Justyce is the one in the lead, and we might be looking at a Game 5 here, AG. 107 on that Zelda.
I would not be surprised the back airs continue to keep that pressure up back on the ledge. ABY going for a big dash attack, but another throw, and keeping the pressure up back-to-back back airs with the explosive flames. Justyce is looking so very comfortable right now. Oh.
Sitting at 138, we're going to see the same thing, right? Stick to the fundies, don't take risks. I can throw out these back airs all day, and I'm probably not going to get punished, but these lightning kicks are getting awfully close.
Yeah, especially on that Town and City platform. You do not want to get caught by one of those. The Nair almost sending off the side auto reticle, not finding the target, and no punish.
Oh. Did not feel the need to rush in with the dash attack, but does get the back air out. Justyce heaving a massive sigh of relief. But don't breathe too easy just yet. You still got a Game 5 ahead of you, son. How are you going to tackle it?
There's so many questions to be asked from either of the players right now, because I'm still thinking about that Game 1. I'm still thinking about how good that Aegis looked.
And then we didn't go back?
Right, we never went back. We stuck with the Zelda, and frankly, the Zelda's 2-1 right now, right? Or 1-2 even.
I wonder if it really is just there as kind of like a download machine.
Right.
You know what I mean? To say, hey, this is a very reliable character. I'm going to be able to use a lot of different strengths to test what my opponent wants to do. And I guess that's what's going on, because ABY sticking with the Zelda, or maybe just didn't like the way that first set kind of felt near the end, felt more comfortable with the Zelda. Are you going to be able to clutch out this set? It has been back and forth. Game 1, Game 2, Game 3, Game 4. They all went different ways. It's back and forth. No reverse 3-0s or anything. It is down to this. Game 5, and we're back to Town and City.
Yeah, I'm pretty interested to see. Either player is, a fan of Town and City for different reasons, but ABY sticking with it after going down that last game. It's pretty interesting. And so far, Justyce already looks very comfortable holding down the center of Town and City. So many great tools, but finally, ABY getting some traction here, but not a lot. It's not a lot.
This is the scary part, I think, about playing Zelda over the course of a long set, is that she does not have that multitude of tools, right? And I think over the course of a longer set, your opponent's going to be able to adapt to them, get more comfortable with what's going on. Whereas a character like Palutena, for example, can continually mix up the game in so many different ways where you have to kind of keep the mental stack focused on different things at the same time. Whereas for Justyce, it's been, okay, I understand that I'm off stage. I'm going to have to deal with either the Phantom or the Din's Fire. And if I have to react with an air dodge, then sure, but still a little bit panicked right there. And ABY taking advantage, still making great use of that up air to take the lead.
Yeah, so many great options there to cut off the flowchart and then kind of force Justyce to go high to punish accordingly. Really good reversal of that momentum that looked so firmly in Justyce's favor at the start of the game. Oh, but it still could be evened up any moment now. The back airs are coming out from Justyce, and one finally finds the mark. Back to 2 stocks.
This is the Palutena's delight, right? Where you're playing an entire set, you have to be not flawless, but like you have the tools to play extremely safe and not give your opponent many openings. But if your opponent's playing a character like Zelda who has tons of burst damage, right? You make 1 or 2 mistakes, they absolutely get to blow you up. And while you're playing Palutena, it's not so definite, right? You just have to continually be a very slow and steady force. You have to maintain your concentration for a very long time playing this character, and that's sort of been the back and forth nature of this set. Has ABY been able to get those crazy big moments, or can Justyce continue to fend off this Zelda?
Yeah, and honestly, we already saw right there, it looked pretty, pretty much like Justyce was going to run away with it, and then ABY comes back, lands 2, 3 hits maybe, and it was even at 40 to 50. And, Justyce still keeping it pretty firmly in control, but ABY definitely looking for a response.
I love that recovery right there over the Phantom as well. The ABY trying to get something set up with that up tilt. Very safe move and definitely has a lot of applications as a combo starter. And I love this. Justyce not even messing with that Phantom even a little bit. Has the Zelda at 116%. But again, just slight misspacing on that back air. That's all it takes. We see ABY back in the driver's seat, but not able to take the stock just yet. And again, we're back to this safe Palutena control.
Yep, we saw those back airs. The dash attacks come out. In the down tilt, really good option to try and catch any of the ledge. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
I was going to say, catch any of the ledge action, and then coming off the ledge, we saw the Justyce, just kind of covered everything with that back air.
Here we go, Nairs to build up that damage. Get all the extra credit you can. If this does end up going into last stock, you're going to need it. Oh. I love the attempt at the read from ABY, but waited a little bit too long and ate a back air for his troubles. The game slowly starting to slip through his fingers. Can this comeback happen, or is this Justyce's time to shine and take the set home?
That dash attack almost taking the stock, but not quite yet. ABY is going to have to land a couple of big hits And it's so hard to find them right now. Justyce is playing as elusive as ever, and the explosive flame is really cutting off the approach that usually comes alongside of that Phantom.
Man, I think that one thing Justyce has been doing so well also is not getting stuck in shield, not giving opportunities for ABY to get grabs, which can be so deadly as a Zelda player. You absolutely look for that as a win condition, but has not been able to get any of them. And look at this, Justyce says 124%. There is no way I'm letting you in here. I'm not throwing out anything that is more unsafe than a back air.
Right. We saw the down tilt. Probably, okay, well, the back air is good.
It's well done.
We saw so many of them. It's no surprise that is what seals the deal. Just such a good approach because ABY was landing some really good dash attacks.